how was your workflow like before even working with the transaction coordinator?
It was very hectic and very demanding and time consuming. Since
Hmm.
I started working with the transaction coordinator yourself, Valerie, it's been much lower workload on my part and a lot less stressful.
How was it like without a transaction coordinator?
Without a transaction coordinator, it was a lot more stressful. You had to spend a lot of time on things and make sure everything was in order with all the forms. And, of course, you can't make any mistakes. But since I've worked with a transaction coordinator, it's been wonderful, much smoother.
You know, basically, through Virna, we met through a referral. Um, how confident would you say you were? Did you, to use a TC? I know I had been working with Virna already for some time. I've known her. You've known her for so long, and I've known her for a few years. And so, were you just, how did that work out? Had you ever thought about using a TC before me, or had you ever used a TC prior to working with me?
No, I have never used a TC prior to working with you. As we said, was referred by Virna Cortez, and she was absolutely right. It was just a dream and much smoother and professional working with a qualified, good transaction coordinator as yourself.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you, Keith. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that she did refer us, and we crossed paths. It's been amazing on my end as well to be able to serve you and help you, and be there to be able to tackle those challenging times that we've been through, especially towards the end of last year. I think that going back and forth on those closings, that double transaction, right? That one really took us for a ride there. How would you say? I know it was a little bit different. I think the first transaction we worked together with was Jonesboro, and I can't quite ask you how it was handing it off, because Virna was really really hands-on in that transaction. But this last sorry, not Jonesboro, the property in Malibu, but these last two transactions that we worked together with, how was it like fully depending on me and saying, Valerie, I'm here, I have these transactions, I need your help? How did that go?
Well, the last two transactions we did were two escrows closing on the same day, which is rare. And it was very difficult, but you coordinated it very well with the other transaction coordinator for the other party. And everything worked out really well. It was very stressful for me, and I'm sure for you, but you did everything and handled everything professionally, and we closed on the same days, both escrows.
Right. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Since we've started working together, have you noticed any changes in your business?
A little bit. I'm working on a few leads right now that I'm hoping will turn into 2 to 4 to 6 maybe. So it's freeing me up more time, and I feel more confident, getting more business and clients, that I have a transaction coordinator that can just refer to right away and handle all the paperwork and the time demanding stuff. It frees me up.
Right. And I mean, that's exactly what we're here for. To really just focus on all the paperwork, focus on getting everything, in a timely manner and all that, and the communication, because not everyone's in the same position, but sometimes they are. I mean, realtors usually are, either having to do the inspections, doing the showings, going back and forth, even communicating with the negotiating. And so then having, and then also yourself, you're not only a realtor, but then you also have other commitments, priorities outside of being a realtor. And so it's much more demanding on your time.
Very much so. Time is the greatest asset we all have. It's the most precious thing we all deal with every day. And having a transaction coordinator as yourself just makes my business and professionalism to another level. And it's quite relaxing and relieving to know that I have somebody that I can count on, trust, and is a great communicator. So it's just been a joy and really helpful.
I appreciate that, Keith. Thank you. And I guess the last question, just to wrap it up, after working with me, would you say, how would you how would you describe, how would you rate it if you were to talk to somebody else and say, hey, you really need to get a TC, or, I think maybe depending on where the realtor is at, how likely would you be to refer them, refer our services over to them, like on a 1 to 10 scale?
Oh, a 10 without a doubt. It's absolutely, you must have a transaction coordinator, especially someone like you who is just on top of it, knowledgeable, and, professional. It just makes your life run smoother. It's just less stress. The transactions have all gone very smooth. We've never had a hiccup. And I can't rate it enough. Absolute 10. I would refer you to anybody, everybody I know.
I appreciate it, Keith. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day, out of your busy schedule. I really do. I really appreciate your time. I'm sorry we couldn't get my camera going here. I just, that really stinks, honestly. But I will, say thank you once again, and just, I'm looking forward to doing more business in the future with you. And I it's such a pleasure to work with you as well, Keith. Truthfully, ever since Verena, kind of tied us in together, I thought this is great. After our first transaction in Malibu, and how, especially like tying that up, those loose ends with the broker, I think it was great. It was great to work with you guys. It was great to work with you again after, and I can't wait to work with you again.
Well, the pleasure is mine, Valerie. You've made it much smoother. I will always use you. And there's an old saying, good people attract good people. And Verna and I have been friends for many years, and she referred me to, and it's been a dream. So look forward to working with you in the future. I may have one real soon in the next week or two.
All
and
right.
look forward to it.